thought the Epstein files might be the thing that took Trump down. And it still has the potential for that because I think it's all wrapped up together. Like this is all
Mm,
connected. But this war with Iran may also be the thing that collapses MAGA
yeah.
because all these MAGA influencers are hot as hornets
Oh yeah,
about
well, they were
this new
really
war.
into the not getting new wars, right?
Right. Because he
Yeah.
ran on no new wars. And
Yeah.
yet he has bombed more countries than any other president in history in a single year's time.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Bloomburg Democrat. I'm Sally Taylor. This is my handsome younger brother, John Daniels. Thanks for hanging out with me again, John.
I always love to. It's
Things have
fun.
changed since we last visited.
Oh yes, the world has continued moving in interesting directions. Uh,
Yeah, I wish they were less interesting.
yeah.
So, since we talked on Thursday, we are now at war with,
Yes.
at the very least, Iran
Yeah.
and potentially more places than just that as countries pick sides.
Yeah. Yeah. When I woke up and I just flicked onto YouTube real quick just to see if there was some music or something I could listen to as I'm getting ready. I saw a couple of videos talking about U.S. bombing the hell of Iran, and I thought, oh no, it happened. This is gonna probably end up in a world war because we've got Ukraine and Russia. We've got now Iran shooting missiles at everybody in the entire area with the United
Yep.
States, Israel, and now apparently the UK and France and Germany would like to maybe help out, but not very committal on anything. It's interesting. It feels like we're heading towards a world war.
It does feel like we're heading towards a world war. I absolutely agree. And of course, our commander in chief was the guy who said, "Don't vote for that lady. She's going to get you into a world war."
Yeah,
But everything he says is projection.
yeah,
He accused Obama of that. He accused Biden of that. He accused Harris of that.
yeah.
And yet he's the guy that's willing to do it without even any clear messaging about why
Right,
we're doing it.
right. Yeah, the what I've seen, I watched just a little bit of stuff about it online before we started, and it seems like every reason that's given is then immediately contradicted. And
Yes.
there doesn't really seem to be any real reason. Uh,
No. Well,
yeah,
but you and I sort of previously discussed the most likely reason,
right, right, right.
which is, of course, the Epstein files were heating up
Yeah,
and more stuff has
it's a
been coming out.
big distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably it. I mean, I don't. I mean, I think I've said this before. I've always felt an understanding of what it's like to be within a very restrictive religion, and not wanting to be in that, right? And I feel very strongly about liberty and these types of things. And so I've always felt like I really wish that Iran can kind of get out of this situation, you know? And I feel the same way
Yeah.
about North Korea. Uh, I feel the same way these days about Russia. Like, like these are just not great places to live. And even if you think that your life is great and it's going okay, or even if it's just kind of mediocre, but like, have you ever really been anywhere else? Have you seen the way other people live? Because there's much better places in the world, right? And that includes at least the United States, in my opinion. There are much better places than the United States in the world. And so I really want other people to be able to have that experience of having freedom and liberty and happiness. Even if, we all get down in the dumps at times, we all go through seasonal depression or, various hardships. But it's a lot easier to live life when your own government isn't trying to kill you. I hope that they can get out of this situation. And it seems like this is a chance. I felt like they should probably do it on their own, right? Like
Yes,
you can't just hand somebody liberty and then they appreciate it right away. Like
right. And
it
since
tends to fall into anarchy,
there seems to be no plan for any of this, it's
right?
like, I mean, literally no plan. We're just going to bomb them and then what? Walk away after they finally stop bombing back. Uh,
Yeah,
and so there's no plan for who's going to step into the role of leadership or how they're going to even democratically elect another leader. And so the
yeah,
chance of another, you know, strong man coming in who has the same horrible tendencies
right,
is high. I mean,
right,
how
right.
many times has regime change worked for the United States? Ever?
Japan,
Yes, but how many people did we
South
kill?
Korea, but not North Korea.
Yeah, well, South Korea wasn't so much regime change as it was protection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I just kind of slipped into like when
That's
we got
okay.
involved
You were
with the
thinking.
war and it wasn't a complete disaster. Those two,
Right.
at least in my mind, were very close to each
The
other there.
closest we've come. Right. Well,
Yes.
World War II, of course, was very much about, the end of fascism, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
trying to end fascism. We certainly
Right,
didn't see the end of it, but
right. We drove it
ending
underground
those
for a good,
for 80
good,
years.
good 80 years, 60, 80
Yeah.
years.
So yes, there's no plan. There's no indication of why we're truly there. What was the justification? I have vaguely heard, oh, they're about to have nuclear weapons again. Well, that's the thing that's pulled out every time the United
Hmm.
States wants
Oh yes,
to
oh yes,
bomb
yes.
somebody in the Middle
Well,
East.
this
They're
this
they're getting
has
nuclear
been
weapons.
this
But
has been Netanyahu's message for 20 years now. They're
right,
2 months away from getting nuclear arms for
right.
20 years.
But supposedly
So,
when we bombed them earlier, we
mm,
obliterated
oh yes, right?
supposedly
Yeah,
their nuclear capacity.
yeah.
Well, did we or didn't we?
I think we did actually.
I don't know.
Well, I
Who
don't
the
know
heck
either,
knows?
but I think we have basically verified that they're not going to have any nuclear arms anytime soon, right?
Yeah,
I I
well,
I I mean, there are now conflicting opinions on this. Like, who was it? Rubio, maybe that was. No, maybe I don't want to attribute things to Marco Rubio
misstate.
that he didn't
Yeah, I
say, even though he
he's likely
deserves
to have.
he deserves every horrible thing that comes his way. But anyway, somebody was saying that yes, they're gonna get nuclear arms, but then I read that no, this is just not true. Of course, as we're saying now, right? Of course, they're not 2 weeks away or 2 days away or 2 months away. They haven't been for 20 years, and so they're not just going to suddenly pop up with these nuclear arms.
Right,
Even the other countries in the world that have developed nuclear arsenals long after the Cold War, they were just given these these things basically by other countries, the plans and
right,
the instruction
right,
manuals on how to do it, and probably even visual material and stuff, like Pakistan and India, right? These places were basically gifted nuclear arms. Um, so I think if Iran has them, it was a gift from somebody, and if they don't, they're probably not going to get it anytime soon. Certainly not
yeah,
now.
yeah. And of course, nobody is going to cry, at least in the West, over
Right.
the removal of the Iranian leadership, because
Yeah.
again, he was a bad human being,
Yeah.
but he's been there since the 80s.
Yes.
And
I
so,
feel
why
like
now?
I remember when he came into power. Maybe I do not. I feel like I do. I remember hearing that he was a moderate, amongst his peers at the time, I think. So I often these days wonder what the alternatives might have been like because he doesn't seem so very moderate, but I
No,
don't know.
and of course, I think that people with that authoritarian mindset, they only get worse with time,
Right.
right?
Right.
I mean, clearly we have a perfect example of that here in the United States,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They only get worse with time.
Right.
And Trump has proven that over and over and over again. The other concerning thing that has come up is that there are apparently some military leadership that are telling soldiers
Yeah.
that they're there because God told Trump to do it, in essence,
Right.
and that this is the
Jesus
beginning of Armageddon
anointed Trump to bring about the end
to
times or
to start
something.
this war and bring about Armageddon. And
Yeah.
so there have been lots of folks that have
Wasn't it
been
the
unhappy about
the
that.
wasn't it the Antichrist who was supposed to bring about the end times?
Well, that would make Trump the Antichrist then, wouldn't
Wouldn't
it?
it?
So yeah, so here's the thing.
And didn't wasn't the Antichrist supposed to say like he's Jesus and but it wasn't true. And
Right.
he would lead people astray. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
people
remember
need to
some
read the
stuff
Bible
like
a bit
that.
more. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too, is this all this end time stuff is not necessarily biblical either. You
Yeah, no.
know, that's
Yeah, some of it's some
that's
from the
very
Apocrypha and
recent evangelical, in the last
yeah,
100 years or so.
yeah.
Um,
Well, but there's a lot in Revelations, right? It's
yes, 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 yes.
it's very symbolic,
But
but boy,
this
it's
rapture idea,
all
this
kinds of
idea of
crazy stuff.
rapture coming at
Yeah,
during the end times,
yeah.
that is
That's
completely
relatively new.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean the
with
word
regard to
rapture. Like
yeah,
what? What a
yeah,
what a terrible choice
yeah.
of words. It was not a
Uh,
Jesus idea. You just
so
imagine Jesus on the Mount of
it's
Olives
this
preaching about the rapture.
manipulation of the
Hmm.
public, especially these far right wing Christian nationalists. This is all
Hmm.
manipulation in my mind to have their support for what's going on. And the thing is that the men, and I will say men because it's rarely women, sometimes it's women, but mostly it's always men that make these decisions to sacrifice our sons and daughters
Hmm.
are not sacrificing their own.
Yeah.
And and they just expect everyone to go along with it and to be okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. It's crazy. And
It's insane.
that's actually I saw a video. There was a Chinese internet person who likes to share his ideas. And he was going off on like Netanyahu and like saying how wonderful Netanyahu is and he's got this great doctrine. Like he may get a peace prize for this. And the doctrine is decapitation, right? Chop a regime change. Kill the few people at the top and all of the soldiers don't have to go to war, right? Just get rid of the people who want war and then you'll have well, very little war comparatively, right? To sending people to front lines like what's happening in Ukraine and Russia right now. Russia's lost over
Yeah,
1 million people, Ukraine less, but a lot of injured and whatnot.
right.
And if we
And
just like
it's
knocked out Putin, it would just be over, maybe. But so that's
but then
kind of
who
what they're
replaces him?
doing. Okay, so today I saw that they've already killed the new Ayatollah, Supreme Ayatollah. They've
Oh,
already
they had,
voted. They already voted and they chose somebody and they were like counting the votes when they got hit by a missile. And so now all of those people are gone. Like they're really doing amazing spy work there. Supposedly there was a whole bunch of traffic cameras that Israel had hacked into and was just watching uh, everybody drive
where
around.
leadership was going.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Learning their schedules and knowing where they would be and they knew when Khomeini was out of his bunkers, and that's when they struck. And so I can't say that killing people is going to get you the peace prize, but if we can get rid of war and instead just kill the warmongers, that's maybe a better solution.
When has that ever worked that way? I mean,
Let's
really.
hope this is the first time. I don't know.
But we've already had hundreds of school children killed.
Yeah. Oh,
Whether
well,
no matter whose bomb it was. I mean, there's a lot of
yeah,
discussion about whose bomb actually hit that school full of
right.
girls, little
Hmm.
girls. And it doesn't
Well, I
matter
don't,
whose bomb hit it
yeah, I
because
don't
all
know
of
this
those little girls are
situation, but
gone.
yes, I agree. And have you seen that the current Iranian government who's left, they're currently having press briefings in public schools, standing in front of chalkboards with children's
That's
writing.
because they're trying to not get bombed.
Exactly, exactly. The I think the parliament was bombed in Iran, and so they can't stay in public government buildings because it'll get bombed, and so now they're out in
I mean, it
mosques
makes sense
and
because, as a general
schools.
rule, Americans don't support killing small children.
Yeah,
However,
it's a
we
general
do
rule.
it all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we don't protect the children that are on our own land.
yeah,
The Epstein files are evidence of that.
yeah. Well, I
So,
find
this
that
is a complete disregard for life.
people love to say, think of the children and protect the children, and then they don't think of the children that we've got and try to protect them. So, I mean, they're cutting the school lunch programs.
Yeah,
So
right.
they don't care about children at all.
And as a
If they
teacher,
did,
I'm the
they'd feed
first
them.
one to tell you if you're not going to feed them in school so that they can learn, then they don't need to be in school at all
Yeah,
because a child without food in its stomach cannot learn. So,
yeah,
why are you wasting all that money if you're not willing to feed them? Don't bother educating them either.
yeah. I
You
understand
get me
your
you're getting
your
me on a
sentiment.
rant, John. I'll be
I
honest,
but I agree
being
with
at
you.
war for
We don't
me
care about
has
children.
no, we don't. I don't care, at least the people who are making these decisions about going to war, they
Yeah,
don't give a damn about life.
yeah. About anyone but themselves.
No.
Yeah,
And so the fact that we are at war again has me really, really unhappy, really on
yeah.
edge.
Yep,
Uh,
I understand.
I think this. I'm gonna go back. I thought the Epstein files might be the thing that took Trump down, and it still has the potential for that because I think it's all wrapped up together. Like this is all
Mm,
connected. But this war with Iran may also be the thing that collapses MAGA
yeah.
because all these MAGA influencers are hot as hornets
Oh yeah,
about
well, they were
this new
really
war.
into the not getting new wars, right?
Right. Because he
Yeah,
ran on no new wars. And
yeah,
yet he has bombed more countries than any other president in history in a single year's time.
yeah. Well, I mean, you don't trust anything he says, right? You can't
No.
trust anything Trump
Or
says.
the people that are manipulating him.
But yeah, and that's a problem because sometimes he tells you exactly what he's thinking, exactly what he's going to do, and you just don't know when it is because
Right.
he
Right.
lies so often. It's just it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
One also think I read today that the the tariffs that were imposed due to the IEEPSP. What was it was a long weird abbreviation, but it was the International Economic Emergency
Oh, the increase to
something act.
15% tariff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's been ruled like illegal, and so
Illegal and constitutional.
all that money has to be returned to the people it was taken from. And but then they're trying to drag their feet, but then that just means they're going to have to pay more interest, and it's going to be
On
like
paying it
seven
back.
yeah, it's going to be $700 million a month or something of interest for every month that they delay. And it's
It's
just
only our
it's
tax
a
money.
terrible, terrible situation. And but it and then some people are saying, well, we need to make sure that the people who are affected by these increases in prices are given restitution more so than the people who passed on those extra taxes to the end consumers anyway. But that's like an impossible thing to do. You can't
Yeah.
figure out who was affected, not
Right.
accurately. And so you got to give the money back to the people you took it from. But then that means all the rest of us who have been paying crazy prices for things,
Because they've all been tariffed. Yeah.
yeah, you get nothing. And so
Yeah.
then it becomes corporate welfare again.
But
All these
that's why,
corporations who passed
yes,
on all these
give
taxes are
money
getting
back that they've
bailout. Yeah,
already
money back.
passed. Yeah.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, ah,
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's a good thing that the tariffs have been stopped, although they've not
yeah,
truly been stopped because
yeah.
even though they tell him it's unconstitutional, he keeps doing it anyway.
All right, right.
So,
And I think it's
I
maybe
mean,
only these specific class of tariffs. Maybe some
okay,
of the tariffs are legal. I don't know that
okay.
it's all of them. I didn't
Yeah.
see that information,
Well,
but
and
yeah.
on one other good note, James Tallarico has won his bid for the primary
Yeah.
uh for as running as Democrat. The
Mhm.
question is the other reason that we're at war so that Trump can prevent the midterm elections from ever happening.
Well, I don't. Do we have something that says that if there's a war, we don't have
He has
elections?
said over and over again, especially because he's been looking at Ukraine and the fact that
Uh-huh.
they haven't had
Well,
elections
they
because
actually
they've been
have
at
a
war.
law. That's the law
Right.
in Ukraine.
Right,
It's not just
exactly.
like they decided to do it.
And we've had wars in other places, but Trump's like, oh, if
Right.
we're at war, we don't have elections. That's interesting. And so he has been fixated on that for a very long time.
What's true in one place is not necessarily true everywhere, you know?
I grant you, we had
Oh,
elections through wars and always have,
yeah.
but
Especially since it's
that
not
doesn't mean that
on our
he's not
land.
going to try.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I would not be surprised if he tried, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
On that note,
it's not
let's keep
over.
our. It's not over. Well, we've been saying it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh,
And
okay.
this is
And
the worst.
here's my prediction. We see how Iran is reacting, and from Iran of the current regime are really upset and making some bold statements on revenge and whatnot. And I feel like the United States is going to get hit somehow.
We've definitely put ourselves at risk for that, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you think about how Al Qaeda hit us using our own airplanes on our own
Yeah.
soil, and they had a lot less reason to be upset than Iran does now.
Yeah.
Not that they had no reason. I mean, they had plenty of reasons to be upset, but now especially Iran
Yeah.
is well justified in being upset. So I would think that probably something's going to happen. So
Yeah. Every time we destabilize the Middle East, it gets worse.
yeah, it does.
So, on that note, let's keep a close eye on the sky
Yeah,
and let's see what happens. I think that Trump, though, is completely losing his base over
yeah,
this. I
yeah.
hope that's true because he
I
should.
do too.
We
Yeah,
should not be at war.
no,
And
I agree.
let's keep an eye and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Good
John.
luck, America.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.